Did you ever see that guy who it was his first time on the radio and he's like, boom, goes the dynamite. It's like a YouTube like meme where he just it was like a college station. It's on YouTube where it's his first time live, it seems like, and they're like, all right, shoot, let's go to Tanner with sports, and he's like, he's all nervous. And the video was going too fast for his, and the teleprompter was like he couldn't read the teleprompter or something, and he was just like, and the man gets the ball, and boom goes the dynamite.
Hello everyone. Well, the Ball State softball team continued to play this weekend, and they started off good, but then eventually the Ball State women's team shut down and ended up doing poorly. Oh no. Before the Ball State baseball team kicks off its conference season this weekend, the Cards will battle an in-state rival Indiana tomorrow. Tomorrow's game will be the Steven Jackson's David. Reggie Miller's looking good. He shoots a three, and it's good. Later, he gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite. And boom goes the dynamite. And boom goes the dynamite.
And boom goes the dynamite. And boom goes the dynamite. And boom goes the dynamite. And boom goes the dynamite. And boom goes the dynamite.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot for that look into sports, Brian.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we'll have one final look at weather. Stay tuned.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Live from Rock City with Greg and Drew. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy 2021.
Yeah, hopefully happy 2021. We actually have a lot of stuff tonight. Pause. Loose talk.
Is that a pause? We have a lot of stuff? Is that a pause?
It can be if you think hard enough, I guess.
All right.
Really, really reach on that one and you'll find something.
Pause.
No, we got a lot of stuff. Thank you for all the feedback. We appreciate hearing what you don't like most of all. People ask me all the time if we're going to be a sports podcast, which I don't think we aim to be, but we're into sports. So we talk about sports. Like, sports are cool. Like, if you're not into sports, then you're not cool.
I had someone reach out to me, a female reach out to me about how the last episode where they experienced the local douchebag at the gym.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the goon.
Yeah, and their tactics and game plan around that.
Right.
Yeah, they said
they didn't ask you about.
I won't say no names.
Though.
No. No. But they definitely said that they their tactic. What was it? Oh, that they basically just say they got a boyfriend. That's the
go-to.
That's the go-to. Yeah, I figure like that's across the board the go-to.
But sometimes that doesn't work. Like, some dudes still keep going, right? Like, some guys don't care.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people like that for sure.
Yeah, the real persistent types.
There's other words for them. But
yeah,
if you want to use persistent.
Yeah, they're out there. So Ox City, the Ox City segment, there was a recent passing that we're going to do a shout out to of a local legend.
Yeah, you know it. Rest in peace, Ruben. He basically, if you played basketball or pretty much played basketball at any gym as a youth, in the past 20, 30 years in the city, you've seen Ruben like managing the gyms. You know him. You've seen him before or whatever. And you know, he was a staple at the gym, and he was always like, everyone knew him, and he was like always the one who opened the gym. I don't know if he was like working for the Boys and Girls Club or something. I'm pretty sure he was, but he was just, you know, always about the youth and helping out and
You think he ever
coaching.
You think he was one of the guys to do the sneaker check? Like
that's
he
a
put
good
you on the
question.
line,
That's a really
assembly
good
line.
question. Maybe, but it's possible. It's definitely possible. But he was just more so that dude who was driving the kids back home or opening up the gym, coaching. He was just like a staple at the gym. So definitely rest in peace, Ruben, and condolences to the family.
Yeah, absolutely. Rest in peace. There's a ton of those dudes in the city.
Yeah, there's
you
a
know?
lot of people like
we know
that
a lot
for
of
sure.
people like that. We
Yeah.
a bunch of different people
Yep.
who, you know, who were that guy at some point or another. You know,
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna ask you, did you ever coach a team, or did we coach a team together at all? I don't
I'm
think
sure
we
at
did,
some
right?
point,
Did we?
maybe Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, I've coached a couple of
That's the
teams,
debut.
and that's it's tough.
Coaching in
Tough
general.
to coach little kids,
Oh yeah, I mean,
to coach like 3rd and 4th and 5th grade.
you just gotta your expectations. That's where it's at. You know, like if you gotta coach kids, you know, understand what you're gonna be getting out of that. You know, like know what level it is and stuff. But because if you are expecting for it to be more than it is, it's gonna be frustrating.
Yeah,
And I've seen it, you
Yeah.
know, like I've had that type of job where you're working with youth sports a lot. Like you see guys who can't handle it, you know, like,
yeah.
why can't you just dribble the ball? You know, and the kids like just dribbling it off their foot out of bounds.
I mean, that's
Like
easy.
he's three, dude.
Like three,
I've seen it before. People
3
get
years
upset.
old.
Yeah, that's where I started. 3 years old. That was the first level.
So what grade were you in?
No, I
3
was
years
in
old?
no, but the program that I was running, the
Oh.
earliest age, the youngest age that we had were 3-year-old kids.
And
3-year-old
what
kids,
court were they playing on?
just like a half court.
And they were playing on a regular size 10-foot.
No, no, we had little hoops.
The Fisher Price.
Yeah, they weren't playing on the 10-foot hoops.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay,
Yeah.
because you don't really normally see that.
No, it's super young, but for that, it was super young, and it's not successful. It's just like impossible. It's impossible to do. But no, I mean, I've coached a few teams. Like I've done the basketball camp thing, so you know, I've kind of done like that style of coaching where you really don't know the team. Like in that camp setting, you don't actually know the kids for that long. But I've worked a couple of years as an assistant at community college around here, and then I did like a little bit at one of the Cal States here. And I want to do it. Like I enjoyed parts of it, but it's a tough road. Like if you're actually trying to go into that coaching full-time type thing, like you got to eat a lot of shit to get somewhere. you know, and like I saw it myself. I saw crazy shit. Like the coach telling other coaches that they got to get players eligible, like they got to do what they got to do, like that type of shit. Like I've seen it happen.
I remember when when I was playing, I went on a recruiting trip to a school up north, and the coach picked me up from the from the airport, and I'm like, okay, picks me up from the airport. I was gonna be there for 3 days. Picks me up from the airport. We go into he tries to like take me around the city type thing on the way to the school to like show me around. And then we get there. He hands me like meal cards or meal tokens. I don't know. So that you can eat
At their cafeteria.
For their cafeteria. So he gives me all like more than enough.
So he's like
ooh.
making it rain on you with them.
Like, he basically handed me probably a stack of like $50 $100 or $50 bills, however much of the $20 bills, whatever, however much the meals are. But he gave me way more than I needed. So I'm like, okay, boom.
Was it like a move, or like he just did it on act, like he didn't pay attention?
It was a move. He gave it to me. He's like, hey, here's so you can eat this week.
Okay.
And then I'm like, all right. So then I put that in my pocket, and then he introduced me to the team captain that I was gonna stay with for that 2 nights or whatever, and then he basically was like, all right, I gotta go do this stuff. I'll meet back up with you guys for open gym, like in the afternoon or whatever. And then he so then I start giving out meals,
scalping them.
Like basically we were like meeting a bunch of people. Yeah, but I was just like, hey, you eating today?
You're walking between the
like,
cars
nice to
in the
meet you.
parking
You want
lot,
the meal?
like at Dodger Stadium. Like
Yeah,
you're just
like
walking on the stripes in the lane, and you're just handing out like.
Yeah, so my first day on campus there, and I didn't even end up choosing that school. But I was already a big hit because I was just giving out free meals to these starving college kids, and then yeah, it was some stuff that he did. Like it was like he was doing too much. He was doing too much.
He's a good recruiter,
and I'm not even that great. Like I'm a guard. Yeah.
Yeah, makes you understand like what they're doing for, what they're doing for like super high profile type athletes.
For sure.
But I want to get back into it at some point. Like I want to coach. Like, well, of course I told you I'm trying to change the game and wear those jerseys as a coach, I'm telling you, it's a thing. Why is it just baseball? Why only baseball? Why is it only baseball that, here we are, sports, here we go. Why is it only baseball that they wear the jerseys, right? Like the baseball coach, the manager wears the jersey.
Tradition?
Yeah, so why can't other sports do that?
Tradition? Nah, they actually this year in the NBA, they changed it. So yeah, I think you'll start to see.
I want it. I want the whole thing. I want a jersey. I want a number.
You want a number too?
Yeah. Can we? I'm gonna start I'll put it on IG. We'll do what's the poll type thing? You take a poll.
So jerseys or no jerseys?
Yeah, jerseys for coaches or no jerseys for coaches. I guess.
It just wouldn't be a good look if they're wearing sleeveless. Like if Greg Popovich is rocking a sleeveless jersey with
like
shorts,
hairy back.
That's what I'm saying. It's just not a good look. You got to think these things through.
We'll see. We'll see what the people say.
I remember one of our games, your dad was our coach in college. He wore like a hoodie. One game, your dad was like, "Hey, does your coach always wear a hoodie?" I was like, "Nah." That was the first
What,
thing.
are you supposed to wear a suit? Like,
yeah, I mean that's what college coaches do. They wear suits, and NBA coaches or whatever.
yeah, we need to do.
It's changing though. It's now the polo and the I don't know what you would call that, like the
I don't know, but I mean,
jumpsuit, the drug dealer jumpsuit.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the people say. Did you see Kirk Cameron from last week's Christmas miracle caroling event?
Who's Kirk Cameron? That was the one that you talked
actor.
about last episode, right?
Yeah. So again, caroling again. Did it? He did it again.
No, this is deja vu.
No, and I'm telling you, it's not just my memory. Like, he actually did it.
All right, where was he singing at people this time?
So he had people meet up, I guess, at Point Magoo Beach. So he had people meet up over there, and they just did their caroling over there. And they didn't knock on anybody's door or their window. For he's a jolly good fellow.
With the Santa cap on?
Yeah. But yeah, they just can't stop. That was the what's this, the sequel 3? What do they call the sequel, the third one? When there's a trilogy. Yeah, that was the trilogy of the Christmas Carol massacre.
Christmas Carol pandemic.
Yeah.
Nah, I definitely can't say that I saw that.
Yeah, well, it happened. It happened again, and it was stupid. All right, so the real news, though, that I hit you up with earlier this week, and then you just deleted it because it was unimportant to you, was the story about Keith Walker, the man who saved a bunch of dogs from an animal shelter.
Right.
I think in Atlanta. I'm not sure if I'm making that up. But Keith Walker, oh, here, I have it from the W Underdogs IG page here. They said, "Tonight we thank our guardian angels, the homeless man that ran into our burning house and rescued our animals, the fire department and Fulton Animal Services officers MJ and Joan for quick action. Our animals are safe, and thanks to the incredible response from the community, everyone is settled and safe and warm and secure. We just wanted to say thank you to all of our friends and volunteers who are coming to our immediate aid." They don't say anything about the guy. They didn't even shout out Keith Walker. No, but I know the whole story because I looked it up. So this guy, Keith Walker, he's a homeless dude. He has a dog, but he doesn't want the dog to have to sleep with him outside at night because he's, who knows, he's got to do homeless people shit at night. So he takes the dog to the shelter every night, and then he's coming back to the shelter to pick up his dog and take him out for a walk, and the shelter is on fire. So what does the guy do? He gets his dog, and then he goes back in and rescues like I don't know, it said like 15 other animals. Pulled all the dogs out, saved all their lives, and saved everybody. Do you think this man is a hero?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why do I not believe you?
I don't know. You think because you keep pushing this narrative that I hate dogs or something. I'm a big fan of All Dogs Go to Heaven, Beethoven, Clifford. I don't understand your thinking about this. Did you ever see that there's a famous battle rapper named Murda Mook, and he said a story recently that he DMX was was rapping. DMX was rapping like in a cipher or freestyle, and he said that he was rapping, and his dog. He's like something. He said something about his dog, and his dog barked.
Oh wow! Like on cue.
On cue, and he's like, "Chill, I got him." Like his dog like knew the time to bark, and he had the chill, I got him, like on the rhyming. It was crazy. Like that's someone that's tuned into dogs.
Wow.
That's someone that, you know what I mean? That's on another wavelength with dogs.
Well, this guy Keith Walker,
Good for him.
DMX of dogs now.
Nah, good for him. That's
Yeah. Oh, also,
a beautiful thing.
So, but I brought that up because Keith Walker has a GoFundMe page that somebody set up for him. And they set the goal to $5,000. And earlier this morning, I checked, and the GoFundMe page is at $75,000.
Shout out to him and his GoFundMe page. That's good for him. That's amazing. That's beautiful. I don't know what you want me to say negative.
What are you laughing at, though?
I'm not laughing at anything. It's funny that you think I want to come back like, man, I hate this. The fact that he's getting money to save his dog and his family of dogs. Like, I don't...
He only has one dog. He only has the one dog.
Well, he saved all those dogs. Those are all his family now.
There's going to be one homeless man walking around with 12 dogs.
He's not homeless anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. But if you want to contribute, like Andrew probably never would, it's GoFundMe, and you just look up Keith Walker and hit him up with some money. So I sent you a cool video a little while ago that I want you to take a look at. But I'm going to set it up because...
I didn't get it.
What? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I got to send it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'll send it. I'll set it up while I'm sending it. So I've been watching this show 60 days, or no, yeah, 60 days in, right? And we talked about it a couple times. But it's funny in parts because you see like some of the weird stuff that happens in jail, but this one was kind of sad on a different level. Hold on, let me send this over here. Yeah. Yeah, so the first, God, you hear that? All right, yeah, so I've been watching the show 60 days in, and the first 2 seasons were in Clark County, Indiana. So they go into the jail, they take these, 6, 7 contestants, people who voluntarily go into jail to get intel for the guards or the warden or whoever the jail officials are. So that the first 2 seasons are in Clark County, which is... It's, the population isn't huge, it's, the jail demographic seems to be more white, like maybe 60% white. And it's just not that, it's not super violent. It seems like you watch it and it's like, it seems like it sucks, but you could survive.
Where's Clark County? Is that Nevada?
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Or there might be 2, but I thought it was Indiana.
Okay.
I don't know. One of those 2. But so season 3, they start and they're in Fulton County, which is Georgia, and that includes Atlanta. And Fulton County is a total different thing. Like that one looks like it's real deal, scary. Like there's and in the first 2 seasons, like they have male and female participants, and the female side is always like like they have little squabbles, but they don't fight as much. Like it's not like a dangerous thing like it is in the men's pods. But when they go to Fulton and they go to Atlanta, like that one's dangerous in both. The women are beating the shit out of each other. The men are beating the shit out of each other. This dude, too tall.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. So all right, so I'm setting up. So all right, but anyways, so they get put into a lockdown, and this is one of the participants, and he's locked in his cell with his cellmate. So go ahead.
You know, plain old balls.
If O'Neill and I were not roommates, things would be a lot easier. But since we're in such close quarters and there are such differences, I think everything's magnified.
Harry Potter's on, man. You look like old Harry Potter, man.
Oh, he was doing that with his
In
mouth?
the outside world, if somebody was irritating me or annoying me, I would just go somewhere else and leave. Here I can't do that.
I know.
Sometimes I just need quiet. That's important to me, and I don't have that here.
Oh, that was real. Wow.
I'm starting to feel my patience slipping.
It's that jail food. That first one, it didn't seem real.
It was,
I think he just did that with his.
no, it was real. It was real. So, for the listener,
Look at you vouching for his fart.
I want it to be real. So, this guy is like trapped in his cell with his roommate. So the one guy is a participant, so he's not supposed to be in jail. And he's locked in there with some dude with tattoos all over him, tattoos on his face. He's got some nasty bandage on his back that he, like at some point, the participant has to come up and check his bandage. This guy is like pretending to, he's like squeezing the shampoo bottle like it's like he's just being crazy and weird. And then he's lying in the top bunk above him, and he's just farting like, and you know it smells terrible, the jail food.
Yeah, for sure. That stuff is. A lot of people won't eat that stuff.
How do you think you would like that situation if you were the guy?
We've already established that I'm not going.
If you're the guy on that bottom bunk and he's just opening his legs up and farting.
Yeah, that's why there's no, straggler roommate.
And you can't, like, if you're in the show, you can't fight anybody. If you catch a charge, you're going to stay in there for real, so you can't do anything. If you're actually in jail and somebody's, like, farting above your bed and disrespecting you like that, like, I'm sure there's some kind of, you could do something for that. But if you can't do anything about it, you just got to let them just fart all over you.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Nuts. All over. I don't know about all over you.
Well, shit, you're in a room that's like...
It's not like they're right on them. It's a bunk bed.
You're in a room, a small room like the size of a closet with no ventilation. And he's just
I get it.
And the guy even said, this is going to be a long night for you.
Yeah, you could tell he was enjoying that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good show. 60 Days In. I watched it on Hulu. It's quality programming.
I don't know why I thought that was on Netflix.
They had season 5 on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And then, so we watched season 5, and that was cool. So then we went back to find season 1 on Hulu.
Oh, got it.
That's kind of been the thing, like, being in quarantine, like, got to find something to do and have some kind of routine or something, you know. So I'm like we're trying to find shows, like just shows that there's a bunch of episodes of. Like we just started watching The Amazing Race. You heard of that?
I've heard of it. Is it older?
Oh, it's old. Yeah, it's older. It's like,
is it a game show?
No, they get a mission. They have to like make it to a certain location every episode, and they're racing against, you know, like 10 other teams. So, and I think it was like early 2000s maybe. But so like, you know, we watched that, and there's a whole bunch of seasons. You get to see the mid or early 2000s, late 90s awkward, like weird, just like weird little stuff. Like this guy called somebody a jerk on the show, you know, like you're being a jerk. It's just like, it's kind of some 90s shit, you know, like nobody says you're being a jerk anymore.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
You know,
that's
like
true.
You just see weird little shit like that. Do you watch anything in quarantine? Like, or you just like sit there with the TV off, like, and just drink water? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
You drink hot water, like you heat it up in the microwave.
I love how you paint these pictures. Hot water. Nah, I boil the water, then I pour it into the cup and drink it.
You're not an animal.
Yeah, I'm not. Come on, let's not get crazy here. You know what I started was it's a Netflix on Netflix. El Ganador. It's about this singer Nicky Jam from Puerto Rico. It's pretty good. He has a crazy story. Like his.
So you do watch things, okay?
Oh my god!
I figured you didn't. I figured you were gonna tell me like I'm too busy. I don't know.
There's that memory. That memory.
Yeah, you're right. So, all right. So I wanted to.
The listeners are like, "Dang, he said these shows and these things."
No, they don't remember either.
Okay.
They don't remember. Nobody has memories.
No one has memories?
No. I'm telling you, people don't remember.
All
right. So I've been listening to this podcast, My Favorite Murder, which is a super popular podcast. It's these two women who, like, they'll do some research and they'll pick a murder or like some massacre or something. It's weird. They have like a weird fascination with murder, and they talk about it like every day, which is pretty dark. So I don't want to do that, but I thought that there are a lot of interesting people that I wanted to do research on. So I did some research on an interesting person who is kind of in the headlines right now. It's another sports guy, but you know, like sports to me, before I really got into sports, it was when I didn't know much about the people who were playing, you know, like, or the people who were participating. So once I got to actually know the people who were a part of it, you know, like once you get to know more about the personalities and like the people who are actually playing in the game, then sports becomes like a different thing, you know. That's what I usually chalk it up to. Like when somebody tells me that they don't like sports, they don't, you know, really pay attention to it. Like I try to understand like what the difference is between me and them, you know, and that's kind of where I think I fall on it.
I get you, but I also don't look for my moral values in people playing sports either.
Well, you don't.
I think it's
I'm
a
not
plus.
saying that you have
I think
to
it's
look
a
for
plus.
that, but
No. I'm saying it is a plus when someone is interesting, or they say something funny, or they're whatever. But there's some people that they're just jerks.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm like, okay,
jerks.
But they're really
back with that '90s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but they're really good at their sport, and I'm like, man, that guy's or she's very, you know, good at that sport.
So are you saying that you try not to take that into account, like their personal?
I don't not try. I don't try or try not to. Like, it's just, I'm watching a sport. I'm not looking for them to run for president or be.
Yeah, but you are interested, right, in like who they are, like, you know, where they come from, you know, their story, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't sway my interest either way. I'm more so interested in their ability to play the sport. Like, a lot of people dislike Floyd Mayweather. I could care less.
Yeah.
I'm a fan because he's a great boxer and
because he's playing by a set of rules, and he is the best at playing by that set of rules. You know, like right, like that's
Yep. That's like a lot of people will be like, oh, I hate that guy. I don't watch his fights or whatever. But I'm like, nah, I'm gonna watch his fights because I think he's a master at what he does.
So where do you fall on like people who have done stuff, you know, like people who have done things that the public does not view well, you know, like, does that change your outlook on it or your feelings on it?
To an extent. It depends. Like, if they've done some like horrendous stuff, I mean, maybe, but I'm not one to make that judgment. Like, I'm not the one who's going to be judging that person. Like, that's not up to me. Yeah. That's up to something totally different than me. So I'm not going to do that. Am I going to now with other things it's different. So like with music it's a little bit different. Cuz that actually comes from their imagination, their thoughts, their like it's more manifested by their personality rather than, I mean, I guess you could say sports is like that. Yeah, you know what I mean? But it's just more of a creative thing that comes from their personality and whatnot. Whereas sports is just like, are you good or are you not type of deal.
But if it's creative, like if it's an artist thing, like are you still going to check it out? You know, like are you...
That's a good question.
Because you're supporting them too, you know, by, you know, listening to the music or... you know, somehow consuming whatever art it is, you know, you're somehow contributing to them and their income, you know. So it's like it's a fine line, you know. It's but it really kind of comes down to the judge and jury thing, you know.
Yeah.
How you saying it, like, because you really don't know.
If there's something that they're doing that it's like no coming back from, then probably I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And it's clear date, and they're like, I'll just go ahead and say it. If they're R. Kelly, like, it's a wrap. But if it's something that they did their time and it was, you know, something in the past and they've moved on and then it's totally different. But once again, I'm also not the person who's like, did he learn his lesson or did she learn her lesson? Like, I don't.
Yeah. Show me that you learned your lesson.
Yeah, I'm not.
Prove it to me.
You don't exactly. You don't got to prove nothing to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's the other stance.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Drake, like he doesn't write his lyrics, so there's people that hate on him. That's not me.
I wasn't even gonna mention it.
All right,
brought him up though. No, I got a whole piece. No, so all right, so this is the Lore of Frank Gore. You like that?
I see what you did there. Who's Frank Gore?
Yeah, you see. I'm about to tell you.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Frank Gore he's a running back. He's on his 16th season in the NFL. He's completed 15 seasons. So he just went down with an injury, like a season-ending injury. He's playing for the Jets now. So people are kind of speculating that this will be the end of his career. because he's been in the league for so long. He's a running back. So if you're not familiar with football, if you're not a sports person, I'm trying to not scare you away. I'm trying to keep you engaged. So I'm teaching myself at the same time because I'm looking this type of stuff up. But so running backs in the NFL average like 2.7 years in the league. I don't know if you knew that, but you imagine that guys get drafted. If you're just wondering how long a rookie, or a young NFL player might last in the league, if you're a running back, the average is 2.7 years. So and then they get paid maybe $250,000. That was Gore's first contract. He got paid $250,000. So he was in California. Like he got drafted by San Francisco. So it depends. All that stuff depends. Like it gives you a different perspective of like how they're living. Like they're not just millionaires. Like everybody's not just millionaires. But yeah. So Frank Gore, you're asking who Frank Gore is. He's a running back for the Jets, and I did a bunch of research on him. And he's a Miami guy, and I know that you spent some time in Miami, so I was gonna bounce some of those Miami things off of you.
Oh, that hurt my ears, but okay.
I don't know why so when Drew was living in Miami, whenever we would talk on the phone, or I probably texted it too, I would just always like maybe start a conversation or end it, but always Miami. Like I just thought that people walk around in the streets just yelling that in Miami. Is that true?
Let me think back to. No,
Miami.
No, they don't. Unfortunately, they don't. Sorry to burst your bubble.
Okay. All right. So here we go. So Gore's born on May 14, 1983 in Miami.
Damn. We're starting back there?
Yeah, we're starting at the beginning. Why? Yeah.
All right.
We'll get there. Watch.
Let me go make some dinner. Hold on.
No. All right. So Gore went to Coral Gables High School, which there's actually an interesting story about the high school. But man, so I was looking at videos. Broke that career record game, and then he had 319 yards and 6 touchdowns on 13 carries. He was wearing like the crazy suit, and he had the pipe, and the crazy hat, and Schnellenberger. Miami.
Oh my God.
So he goes in there and he recruits all these players, and they end up winning. I think they win a national championship during that era. Miami. Then comes back in 2004. Leads the backfield in carries, rushing yards. Oxnard. Because he had those injuries, like he tore his ACL both.
Yeah, I remember a couple of people frauding like they were in the NFL.
Like people we know?
I've known. I think you might know one, but the other two, you don't know them. But I know for a fact, like it was like 3 people in my lifetime that have frauded and made it and used the NFL as like a way to get girls, but they're not in the NFL. It's just sad.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
It's just because they passed like the look or whatever.
Yeah.
They're
but that's probably a large percentage of what, like those guys who are the 2.5 years, got invited to a few training camps, suited up one year for a little bit, and then that's kind of it. When you realize that that's the majority, like that's the average, or at least for running backs for that position, but when you see the guys who are out there like, you know, like Drew Brees or Brady or whoever, like the people who have been doing that for that long and that successfully, it's a different perspective on it, you know?
Do you have you ever talked to someone about football or talked to someone about a sport and or like you're talking to a group of people and you're like, yeah, man, that was a really good game. And man, I thought he sacked him on that because whatever. Or you're talking like a technicality of the game, and then there's someone in the group that they're like pretending like they know the sport. And
it's me sometimes.
And then you figure it out that they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But you don't want to put them on blast. Or do you?
I mean, I tried with hockey for a little bit.
See, I'm not gonna pretend like I know hockey.
No, I guess not pretend. I would never pretend like I know. But
well, I'm saying there's people out here who are not interested in sports at all, but they're trying to fake it till they make it, pretend like they know about sports.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if it's somebody who wears gear of that team. Do you?
I don't care.
So do you wear
statement.
different?
Yeah.
Gear that's not like your team.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily like a Dodgers fan, and I'll wear like a LA hat or whatever.
Yeah, but do you wear like other stuff? Like,
yeah,
like, would you wear like a
fit.
Cincinnati? Yeah, like you would. So you would. Okay. See, like I can't do it.
You can't?
No.
I would say that I wear mostly my teams, but if you know, I have like green sneakers on, then I might throw on a.
They got the green Dodger hats.
What's the green? Seattle Supersonics. You said what?
They got green Dodger hats.
See, I
they
can't
got
do
red ones. They got
all
they have rainbow ones. That would be cool.
To each his own, but I just like wearing the original. I guess maybe I don't know. I'm just saying I wouldn't put it past wearing like another team colors.
Yeah, I have a no. I mean,
it's a fashion thing.
I don't have a problem with it. I just don't. I can't do it myself. I look down on it. I spit on people who do it. So I don't do it myself. But if you do, like, that's cool. That's cool. I just don't.
I won't wear a team that I'm against. I like.
You won't wear some
Lakers
Lakers shit?
Like that's nah, I probably wouldn't wear some Lakers stuff.
I feel like it would be weird to see you wearing some Lakers stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear some Lakers stuff.
You ever get gifts from family members? That might be
one of the only
that give you a gift
that is not my team,
and they're like, "Here you go."
Nah, pretty much everyone knows my teams. Like, you know, if they're family, they know my teams. Because we watch sports together a lot and stuff.
Yeah, I got a jacket from my uncle one time.
Uh-huh.
Hey, shout out to Uncle Daniel. Thank you if you got me that jacket, but it's not my team, I never wore it.
Thank you, but I'm not a fan of the New York Knicks.
No, I'm sorry, I'm not a Niners fan. I never wore it. But no, yeah, he gave it to me one year, and I didn't even have a team because at the time there wasn't a team here, so I just like it didn't interest me, you know. Mm-hmm. So, but I guess if somebody doesn't really have a team, it's okay to give them something that has a team, you know, like you're giving them the option, you know, like you're not pushing your team on them. You're just saying like, hey, if you want to support this team, if you want to join a team, there's room for you here. You know?
So speaking of that, do you have your fiance? She is already a fan of the Raiders?
No. So she's a Seahawks fan, but her dad is a Raiders fan. Her mom is a Seahawks fan. So, but I mean, yeah, it's
you live and you learn, right?
Yeah. To each his own.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have the dogs. They both have dog bandanas with their teams. Like our dog, he has a Raiders bandana, and then the other dog has a Seahawks one. What kind is your?
Mine what? What kind of human clothes does my dog wear?
Yeah, I was against it for a long time. I was against the dog clothes thing for a long time, but it looks cute and they look really cute.
God.
Yeah. So we gave him clothes like a person.
You think dogs can get COVID? I heard that they can.
I googled it a lot during these last 8 months or whatever, and I read that they couldn't. I read that cats could. I remember reading that cats could like transfer it or transmit it, but dogs couldn't.
Oh, okay.
Plus, I've been like taking my dogs to my parents' house this whole time, so I hope that they're cool. But no.
You ever had a COVID sandwich?
What's that?
You know what a COVID sandwich is? Do you know what a COVID sandwich is?
No, I'm not familiar.
It's like when you go to the grocery store and it's a small aisle. It might be like the corner store, grocery store, like the Poppy store. And it's like a smaller aisle, not like a Walmart type aisle, but it's like a smaller, skinnier aisle. And there's on one side someone coming into the aisle, and then on the other side someone's coming into the aisle,
and they look
one side,
unsavory.
one is like an old person, and then the other person on the other side is like their mask is hanging off their chin, so you're like,
so it's either get it or kill this old person.
Yeah, so it becomes a COVID sandwich.
Yeah,
yeah,
I just jump over the shelves into the next aisle, and I knock all this shit down. No, but I have seen a guy who was, he had like a Starbucks or a coffee bean, like one of those coffees, and he had his mask under his chin, so his mask is just sitting there. So he's got his mask, but he's like sipping his coffee the whole time, like he's dedicated to it, like he's not pulling the coffee down from his mouth, so that like, well, technically I'm drinking it, and I'm just like watching him for a little bit to see how long he's gonna hold that cup up there, and he did it. I'll give him his credit, he did it. Like he held his cup there the whole time.
You stared at him the whole time?
I waited a little bit to see how long. It's gotten to the point where I stare down people in public.
Man.
I do it sometimes. Sometimes people need it. Sometimes people need correcting. Sometimes you got to yell at kids in movie theaters. You got it.
There was a lady that walked. I was at Whole Foods, and she walks into Whole Foods, and she didn't have a mask on, right? And she walked right in front of me, like into the sliding doors or whatever to get into the supermarket. And there's like a lady at the front, and she's like policing people who don't have masks, I guess. And she was like, ma'am, can you put your mask on, please? And she just zoomed right past her. Like, nah, I'm not putting this on. So then the lady that working, she hops on the Rover, and she's like, calling all cars. Karen in the store. I was like, dang, they swooped on her fast too.
Yeah, they're not tolerating that. Nobody likes that.
It's been months, like that you understand, like
Yeah, you know.
I mean, months ago it was like you saw more little viral videos, but now I mean, I don't know, I'm not looking for it, but I don't think it's happening as often. So it's like, come on.
Yeah,
at
if
this
you're
point.
still on that, like you need to chill out.
Yeah.
But the people in the
so
store
that
don't
was
like it
first
either.
Yeah,
Because,
I mean,
like,
they gotta work
whether
there.
you're like, you know what, no matter what you believe about it or whatever, like those people have to enforce it. The people who work there, like they have to say something. So like if you just go in there and you're refusing to wear one, they have no choice. They're not going to take a stand with you and put their money, put their paycheck on the line for you, stranger, not wanting to drink your coffee bean.
Yeah. And part of me like gave the lady the benefit of the doubt, like maybe she forgot it. But then I was like, why didn't she just ask for a mask? I'm sure they have.
You know what's crazy is that I went to go get my tire changed, and I forgot a mask. So like I came up to the place and I'm like, I'm holding my shirt over my mouth, and I asked them like, do you guys have any extra masks? And they just looked at me like nobody even said anything to me for a little bit.
Oh yeah, they're like, nah, just come on in.
No, they were like, no, like we don't even care about your business, just leave. Like, damn,
okay, gotcha.
All right. Like they were already busy, so I think they were just like,
they're like, nah,
yeah,
get out.
you're chapped, sorry, get out.
Yeah. Nah, the I've seen yeah. What about it's crazy. It's just each place is different. Each people are different.
But it's super simple.
It is what it is.
I've noticed that I like wearing a mask when I run because people can't see like my faces of distress.
Of death.
Yeah, like if I'm really like struggling and I'm like making an ugly
Like
crying face.
When we were in high school or college, when you had to run suicides. And like the students would see you and they're like,
yeah. Everybody's getting
dying.
let out of school, and you're like,
yeah,
your hands are on your knees and you're about to throw up, and people are like, damn, I see why he's not gonna make it. He's never gonna make it.
Man. Or if you just quit on the run, whatever.
Hey, so yesterday, like when we were leaving school, and you guys were
you
yeah
quit on the spot. It was weird. You good?
I feel like there's some, like, you know, like some people that would not bother them so much, you know, but like if it's
Right.
but it's unacceptable, like just to quit in front of anybody. That's why like I avoid doing things that I'm not good at, because I just like, because I'll just lose and then I can't give up on it, you know, like that's why there's only a few things that I do, because I'm not trying to do something that I suck at, you know.
That might be where I don't play Madden or all that.
You know, because you have the learning period
far
where you
behind.
just get wrecked.
Yeah, I'm just so far behind in that, and people are super used to it. Like, it's left, right, A, B, down, plus. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, huh? Where's that button?
When I see somebody, I get on Madden and I'm playing against somebody, and then everybody is hot routes the whole time. Like, they're like, these people don't even use the playbook. Like, they have their own things. And then all right, it's a wrap for me at that point.
Yeah.
And then if you're playing online,
I don't even know. I don't even know how to pull those up.
Yeah, see, that's easy. You should be able to figure that out.
Like, at no point have I ever played Madden and be like, all right, I'm doing hot
I guess there's levels of it, you know.
Yeah.
But then you get that
And then you're playing the hater
Yeah,
friend.
or you get
where
the
they're
trash.
Like, oh, you just do this. You just do
Who will
this.
give you
and then
bits of
it's
information
like,
at a
do
time.
What? You just do this. Score a touchdown on you. Okay, it's up. I'm up 7 more points now.
Or they'll do something.
And then they tell you I'll tell you the next time I'm about to score. It's like, man, look at you. You're a hater. You're not even trying to have a fun game.
Yeah, I went to visit my uncle one time, and we played the baseball game, the show, MLB The Show. And my uncle, I think at the time, he was probably 60, would be my guess. Also, side note about this uncle, his soon-to-be wife, I hope she's not listening because she's going to get a surprise, but he thinks, or she thinks, that he is younger than his other siblings. So he's the oldest, and he told her that he's like in the middle of the pack age-wise. So she thinks he's younger than he is, and she came and she like brought it up, and the family was like, nah, he's oldest. He's old. Like, he's way older than that. And she was like, no, he's not. Like, he's how old he says he is. So he just lied about his age, and she just totally accepted it, and she, she's not taking the family's input from it. But I went to visit that uncle, and he was having no mercy on me. Like, he was throwing, he would be pitching to me, like we're playing the baseball game, and every pitch is a fastball, and I just can't catch up to it. Like, it's just too fast for me, and he's just laughing out loud the entire time. Like call the police level laughing loud. My 60-year-old uncle is laughing like this for like a half an hour straight. Like, that was the most fun that he had in a long time. It was embarrassing me on that. Also, that same uncle, like, I think he still plays like NCAA basketball, 98 probably. I think he still has it on PlayStation. Okay. Yeah, see, caught your interest there, right?
I like that.
But his thing was that he liked to create characters. Like, he would make Josh, one of our other buddies, and he would put him in the game and like make us play for Stanford or whatever, and then make us have like way better careers than we actually had.
Man.
Which I do too.
Like, look, this is what you could have been. Isn't it great?
But I'm pretty sure he's still playing.
But you're not.
He's like 70 years old now, and he's playing PlayStation 1, and he's like playing with me. He's playing as me and some of my other high school friends.
As a 19-year-old kid.
Yeah, and he's still playing with the same old PlayStation. Yeah, so shout out to him. Shout out to Uncle Gary. What you got anything else?
Nah, I mean, just shout out to, hey, you remember the radio shout outs? Like the old school, like when in elementary
when you would
and
call in?
people would call up to people would call into the radio.
Yeah.
Be like, shout out to Kevin. And it's like, yeah, we just wanted to say shout out to Kevin.
Yeah.
It's like, who the hell?
Did you ever do that?
You called in for this?
Did you ever call in?
Nah, I never did it. I didn't. I remember going. You remember when you have like birthday parties or just like random, like you would sleep over at a friend's house, and it was like a bunch of kids go over or whatever. I remember one time they called up. I didn't know the number, but some kid knew the number, like to the local radio station. What was it?
Q147.
It was Q1047, right? Before, yeah. There was a couple.
It's Power 106.
What were there was Power 106. There was 92.3.
Beat.
The Beat. There was like the Santa Barbara one too.
The Earth 101.
No, that was the one our parents listened to.
The one with the
the
oldies
Santa
on it?
Barbara one was like, yeah. The Santa Barbara one was like 90 or 103 or 103.3.
Santa Barbara, that was the tonic
I think it was 103.
nightclub bottle service
It was
station.
exactly, and it was similar to the Power 107 one. But anyways, they had the number like on speed dial. Someone had this number, and so they're like, yeah, shout out to these girls. Like I don't remember like, you know, who they were or whatever, but it was like no last name. We were just shouting out.
Yeah. And they would have to be listening to the radio at that exact second.
Yeah, it's like exactly. And then
it's a stupid concept once you bring it back up.
Exactly.
It's stupid.
Hey, that's why they would come to like the little high schools and the
kids are stupid
in elementary schools and junior high because they were trying to get those listeners.
Yeah. What better listeners to get? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we had the radio people come to our games. You remember that?
To our basketball
We had
games?
people from the radio. Yeah. No. We had people from the radio station. They would show up to our game. Like in street clothes, like, like not for the radio, like not, you know what I mean? Like they worked for the radio, but they had like a connection.
Okay. Not that they were like doing a live live show during our games.
No, they weren't doing that. No.
You remember when you would come back in from the locker room at halftime and the cheerleaders would still be on the floor doing their little dance or routine, and then like they would make you wait till they're done?
Wait, you would go into the locker room?
Yeah, so halftime,
and they were in the locker room?
No. Halftime happens, right? And then you go in the locker room and you do your talk or whatever. And then you come back out and the cheerleaders are on the floor and they're doing their...
So you're waiting.
Yeah. And then you come out and you're ready to warm up, like you're ready to go. But they're like...
You're ready to play the basketball game.
Hold on, 8 more minutes.
Yeah, I remember
This is only Act 1.
For he's a jolly good fellow. Nah, I don't remember their little thing, but yeah, it was like clap 3 times. Okay. Shoot a basket. 2 points.
The people
like
in the
whatever
crowd,
the little thing.
No crowd participation at all. And they're just like out there doing it, clapping and doing the movements.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, coming out to that and just seeing that and just being like, because you're right, because they're there, they're performing at the game that you're playing, you know.
Right. So this is about us. No offense, no disrespect.
No disrespect.
Like no disrespect. Like this is about us. You'll get your little shine, like maybe like at the timeouts and stuff, but you know this is about us. No disrespect.
Oh man, we had some wild games in that gym. You remember, like we had the rivalry with those we do not speak of.
Yeah, we had that. We actually had one of those games on TV.
Yeah, and I got an interview.
We had one of those games on TV. You were interviewed. Yeah, there was some weird stuff that went on that year. Like some kids got bodied.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. I mean, I don't know if they got bodied, but I remember something happened like along those lines. I was like, dang, that was crazy.
Yeah,
it's a shame what happened to Homeboy. I don't think I knew any of them though. Like I just heard about something.
No. Do you remember that they held up, some of the fans held up a green card? Like,
yeah,
that was like the thing.
That
was like the joke. They were like, "You're not a legal citizen."
Yeah, so we went to a school with certain ethnic value, and our rival school had lack thereof.
Had less seasoning.
And so it was just yeah, so it was just really it and all that, and it was just you could just
It's a different
you
different
know,
vibe. Very different vibe.
as minorities, you know what's
Yeah.
going on. And it was interesting.
Yeah, so
for
but
sure.
they had it was like
But
a
I love that situation though. I love
as a
those,
player it's
I
cool,
remember, yeah.
but it's also crazy, you know. I remember there I was when we were younger and we were on the JV or something, like it was one of the lower level teams. So we're sitting there in the stands waiting for our game, or it's either after our game, but so our team has their bench, right? Their players are sitting on the bench, and then one of the opposing team's players is walking behind the bench to go get a drink of water or something like that. And so one of our players just moves his chair back fast to get in the way, like, and slams the chair down so the guy can't get by. And I think it must have been when I was a freshman or sophomores.
Okay.
But I was new to high school, and then that happened, and it was kind of like, it was kind of like a little conflict thing, but that kind of flipped it for me. Like, oh wow, this is big kids now. Like these kids are, that kid was trying to fight that kid.
These kids are smelly and going through puberty and stuff. Yeah,
they're hormonal.
No, for sure.
Hey.
No, shout out to all the people that we played with or against. Hit us up. We'll, tell a story or whatever. I got a question for you. Would baby Greg, little G Money, would you rather him go to a private school, high school or whatever, or like a public school to learn how to play sports and learn how to navigate people and society?
It's tough. It's funny that you asked that, because Frank Gore actually took his kid out of I did a lot of research about it, okay? Frank Gore took his kid out of private school and put him into public school because he wanted him to compete against the kids at the public school. That's a relevant reference.
No, for sure. I'm just saying this is the Frank Gore episode, but go ahead.
It is now.
I didn't know about him a year ago, or an hour ago, for that matter. But I'm asking.
Yeah. So, I think high school is so much about learning to navigate, and learning to how to live in a social environment, that part of it. And if the competition is good at the high school too, it's got to be, you can't be Malibu. Sorry, no disrespect to Malibu, but you had those teams that you would see and they're just total trash. Like if it's like that, I can see that, that would be a problem. But if there's good competition, if there's diversity, if there's, if the ratings of the school or the, percentages or the statistics or whatever aren't as good as a private school, there's still value. There's value that you can't document, with public school. So I think I would go that route. Plus it's cheaper. So what do you think? What would you do?
Homeschool.
Oh God!
I would.
Of course they would.
No, I would go.
They'd be sitting right there in the house with the room with the lights off and no TV on and no PlayStation.
I would go to I would do the private school.
Private school.
Yeah,
bougie,
for sure.
uppity.
I'm saying you gotta show them the finer things. No. But it's got to be a certain area. It's got to be certain, like, You know, it all depends. Like, you go to some private schools and it's like hood kids going to that school. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of athletes that they bring,
Yeah.
from, like, look at in Miami, St. Thomas, that's like a hood school, but it's a private school. It's just a lot of good athletes and whatnot. So yeah, no, it all depends. It all depends. And then you got the private school that's in the middle of the hood, where it's like, you know what I mean? They're teaching them certain values. You're paying for certain things, but they're going to school with kids in the neighborhood, so they're getting kind of
best of both
like
worlds,
the best of both worlds, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Do you think homeschool is an option at all, though?
Nah, I wouldn't do the homeschool thing. But I will say that some of these like successful people have been homeschooled. Like I heard,
I feel like
Devin Haney.
Are they socially awkward? Like,
well, Devin Haney. I mean, I've seen some kids like that for sure. But I know there's this professional boxer. He's like early 20s, and he's his own boss. He's not signed to any promotional company or whatever, and he's doing really good. As far as, in the boxing game, and he was homeschooled, and he's, well, he could articulate really well. Like he's very, he's not just like the quote unquote prototypical, stereotypical for that matter, boxer. He's a businessman and whatnot, and he's like 21, 22, something like that. And he was homeschooled. So, I mean, it just all depends.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't go the homeschool route because I'm not trying to do all that teaching.
Well, shit, it's looking like it's having to go that way for a bunch of people because as of right now, that's...
Imagine.
I can't even imagine having kids right now.
I'm saying, but imagine having to do all this teaching, homeschool and whatnot, and then you're in the middle of a pandemic where they're just staying home. Yeah. Shout out to all the parents.
Man, I saw my cousin recently, and he was excited about having a day to fix the pool house. Like there's something broken, but he's just excited. They got a couple kids. He's just excited to get in there and just fix the pool house for a while, Like,
God bless him.
God bless him. All right, that's so Frank Gore. No.
Oh no.
Nah, we're done on it. That's all I got. That's all I got on Frank Gore.
Congratulations to those who got through.
Yeah, to those of you who made it past all that.
We'll send you a Frank Gore jersey.
Signed by us. It'll say Frank Gore. It'll be signed by us, but we'll send it. Yeah, but that's it. That's it for week 13, right? 12. Yeah, episode 12. Thanks again for the feedback. Send us any feedback you got to, or any information, any material, any feedback. livefromoxcity@gmail.com. We're on Patreon. Check us out on Patreon for our exclusive nightcap content. We're getting ready to pour a drink here soon and talk more about Frank Gore.